listeners, party people, welcome back to another episode of Party XP. I am your host, Lakan, and I'm joined once again by my friend here, Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
So, we had to call a little bit of an audible this week.
A little peek behind the curtain here.
Yeah, we're like, I was initially considering maybe we just post this episode up and like nothing ever happened. No, it's one of those things that's been kind of brewing in the back of my mind. I was like, we should probably just be like on it, just straight up, right? Like something happened. We couldn't get our regular game we were initially trying to do this week. So we're going to call an audible and switch it up a little bit. Something a little bit easier for us to get our hands around. Unfortunately,
don't get old, kids.
Yeah, unfortunately, our schedules have just not been cooperating. We've been trying to get some other people as well on board. And it's just one of those things where we couldn't get like everybody together to do something. So we're going to try something a little bit different. It's still going to be kind of actually in the same vein to some extent, because the fact that we are going to try to play together for this one. It is a game that I'm also very, very passionate about. And honestly, one of the greatest communities that I've ever interacted with in gaming. Like it is like one of the most fun things that I've ever done actually here. So Jeff, we played Left 4 Dead before, right?
We have.
Yeah, and like we've dumped a lot of time into that game. You know, that's one of those games where like it's that, you know, that cooperative 4-person game is very kind of hard to find nowadays, right? There's a couple still out there that are still, you know, very popular, but like I feel like there's more there's like 4 or 5 that really got their hooks in the community, right? And the people kind of bounce around for.
I think so, right?
Yeah. Like people still play Left 4 Dead, right? There's a lot of people who still play GTFO, right? That's a really popular one. It's a little more strategic. There's another one, the SCP game, which is coming out, which is really cool looking, more tactical, a lot slower, right? And this game actually came out to me. I believe it came out in 2020, I think, when it came out initially on PC, and I actually told y'all to play it too because we were big fans of Left 4 Dead. The game that I'm talking about for this episode is Deep Rock Galactic. And I think you might have just seen this in the chat maybe at one point when I mentioned it, and I don't know if you've actually like played it yourself or not, because it was free a while ago on Xbox Game Pass and PS Plus.
Right, so I don't have either of those, so that wouldn't help me. Well, I have PS Plus, but I'm not going to download many games for it. So we've talked about this quite a bit. I've looked into it because it seems like a fun game, and I'm happy that this is kind of what we ended up on as we called this audible here, because it looks like a lot of fun. Yeah,
so this game, it's really, really fun. I remember it came onto my radar again, like early during the pandemic, basically. So like everyone's stuck inside, right? Again, same issue for a lot of same catalyst for a lot of the games that I actually ended up looking up into, right? But it's so this game is developed by Ghost Ship Games. This is actually their first game, which is wild because this game kind of took on a life of its own. Like once it kind of started getting really getting picked up by the community. They did the whole early access type of deal on Steam, you know, to help fund the game development as well too. But they actually delivered, which is cool. Like even before the full game release. So it's a 1 to 4 player cooperative FPS where you work together exploring procedurally generated cave systems. You take the role of one of 4 space dwarves, which is, you know, kind of like
it's already up my alley.
Yeah, right. It's like, you know, you see the character designs. They're very much so like you take the dwarves from like Lord of the Rings and you just put them in spacesuits, which is kind of great. Great. Reminds me a little bit of like a Torbjorn type of look. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's get this going. And basically have missions like harvesting specific minerals, stealing alien eggs, eliminating like boss targets essentially, and retrieving lost gear. There's 4 roles here. They actually have like a class system here in place, which is, you know, some people may not like because it's only 4 people and you have to kind of like, you have to make sure you cooperate, right? So a lot of times it's like with these cooperative games, it becomes a little bit difficult to get everybody on the same page. But there's a really good ping system in this game. And as I said before, the community is amazing. Like genuinely, this is like one of the nicest communities I've ever interacted with online. So you play as either the engineer who uses a shotgun and a grenade launcher. Basically, like their whole job is to shoot out like a platform gun that fires like platforms out for people to like walk around on, which is really fun. To get people up to specific areas within the cave systems, right? The gunner uses a minigun and a revolver, and they have for their support tool, they have like a shield generator, which creates like a protective shield bubble, which is, you know, like again, that's like your support. This is kind of like everyone has like has a support ability, and obviously your job is to shoot shit and mine stuff out of the caves, right? So everyone can genuinely be useful in terms of fighting and in helping out the team. The driller uses a flamethrower as a primary weapon and a semi-automatic pistol, and then his job as the driller is to drill. Pretty straightforward. So basically, what's cool about this guy is that because he uses like two giant drills to create a tunnel that can easily be walked through by the other players, right? He is also like your escape guy. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, cool, we've gone through this entire cave system. We need to like beeline back to the ship, right? Back to the drop ship. Okay, follow me, boys. And basically, they just create like the tunnel straight back to the thing, which is nice, especially if you've been exploring for a while and digging your own weird cave system. And we'll touch on the whole digging your own cave system in a bit, actually here. And the scout. So they use an assault rifle and a double-barreled sawed-off shotgun as a secondary. Their job is so they have a grappling tool as their utility. So a grappling gun, and then basically they can kind of like fly around really quickly in any direction. They're the ones who have the highest mobility. And they also have a flare gun, which is cool because everyone has like kind of like hot like glow sticks or flares they can throw out to light up an area. Yeah, again, this is the whole cooperative part of it, right? He has a flare gun that he can shoot that like are brighter and last longer and cover a larger area than regular flares. So they're kind of like they're kind of like the ones who kind of comes in beforehand, the scout, right? They go ahead, they can light up an area, prep it for everybody to go into, and then everyone starts working together again. I mentioned before that you dig your own cave system, right? So this game is actually they took inspiration from Minecraft and Left 4 Dead in this game. Weird combination, but like it honestly turned out to be amazing. I love this game. So you literally everyone has like a pickaxe. You can kind of dig through rocks and stuff like that to find minerals for the mission. And as I said before, like caves are generally are procedurally generated, so you can make these weird snaky ways to find particular minerals, right? You can just explore all the way inside, or you can just go in a big circle around your ship or whatever. And it kind of gives you a lot of creativity on how you want to play out the mission. Does this game still seem like up your alley?
Yeah, it's space dwarves looking for stuff. Like I think it's pretty cool. I think it's basically just going to be right up my alley, unless like I don't know. I can't see how a game that looks like what I've seen so far and what I've heard so far is not something I'd enjoy.
Yeah, man. Like again, like this is very much so like kind of like my aesthetic as well in terms of like gameplay. Essentially, it's like it's like almost like a rogue like dungeon explorer game. Essentially, to some extent, right?
Right.
The cooperative aspect of this game is great. The community is fantastic. There's literally a button assigned in this game where your character just yells "Rock and Stone," and like I would literally get knocked down and get picked back up like on the way out of our escape route kind of deal. People would actually come out of the ship and come back and pick me up. Genuinely, some of the nicest people in this game. So I would actually recommend you actually try this out by yourself a little bit, and then we'll definitely get a squad together to play this game.
That's exciting. I like games like that. I like when you have like this tight knit kind of community, and that's again, it's super exciting. It definitely seems right up my alley. So I'm looking forward to getting started with this.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this game. It'll be a short break here. By the time you hear back from us on the short break, it'll probably be a week or so, and we'll have gotten our hands on Deep Rock Galactic. Okay, listeners, we are back. It has been 2 weeks now. We've played Deep Rock Galactic. Jeff, what do you think?
Oh, it's been a blast. It's been a lot of fun. This is this is definitely a rock and stone is the thing.
Rock and Stone.
Yeah, if you're gonna say it, say the gimmick.
Rock and Stone.
Why does it turn into took our jobs?
Rock and Stone.
Christ, we're already off the rails here.
Yeah.
No, it's been a lot of fun.
Okay.
It's been a whole lot of fun. I've settled in nicely as like the engineer, the guy with or no, not the engineer, the
driller.
The driller, yeah, with the flamethrower and
the pistol and the satchel charge, like the C4 charge and all that stuff.
Right, and the digger, the digger tool,
the drill, yeah, the massive
Digger, by the way,
digger.
Yes,
we are not getting canceled in this podcast.
Yeah, right. But it's been a lot of fun. I really appreciate the basically like we talked about. It's basically Destiny without the power grind, and in that you have these missions that you can do, and sort of like the world is your oyster kind of once you get through the first few missions. You're able to just kind of take the game where you want it to go.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know, it's just like it's a lot of fun. The missions don't take too long, but you're able to, sink your teeth into missions and do what you want there. And then you're out, and then you can either keep going or you stop, and I appreciate that. I appreciated sort of the play style. The game itself was a lot of fun. The only thing, the only nitpick that I had is sometimes the crosshairs aren't like great, or sometimes it feels like I'm shooting a water pistol at things.
Yeah, no,
But
I
then
get you.
you kind of figure it out, and you know you get through it. But all in all, like I've had nothing but positives, and I feel like this is going to be something we go back to quite often.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. Because, like, I mean, I mentioned it before, right? A little bit where the community of this game is one of the greatest things I've actually experienced in
Oh yeah,
gaming.
they're great.
Like, there are plenty of people who don't have microphones on here because you don't need it. You know, for the most part, the ping system's
Hmm.
really good, right? You have the little laser designator
Yes.
tool thingy, and if you left click at the same time, it pings specifically a mineral or enemy or like a mushroom or something, like a secondary objective or whatever, right? And like everyone in here is super nice. Like I've had again, I started playing this game a lot again recently, just for this episode. I was like, actually really excited because I was like, oh, sweet, I get to start playing this game again. And I had like two games where people actually had microphones, and basically everything else out of like the I don't know maybe I dumped a lot of time of this game into the last couple days. Like maybe I want to say of the last 15, 20 missions I played, only
Right.
like two games actually had microphones in it aside from myself. And you know they were just super nice. You know, like you don't hear the typical online Apex or Halo or COD always on microphone. You know,
Thank God.
yeah, kids fighting in the background, the wife's yelling at the guy to to help him out or whatever. It's like no, people are pretty courteous in this game. Like so, you know, again, like the community is really really nice. We mentioned before like the whole rock and stone thing, right? There's a button dedicated to it, and it like
Yeah.
so it's like it's kind of like it's kind of a happy meme within the community, right? Like you like we love just spamming rock and stone whenever a mission's done, right? You know, you say GG at the end of a mission, and if you're like typing, right, you type GG R and S, like that's all you need. Like, it's like yeah, like they know exactly what you're talking about. But yeah, the community is great in this game. Like I've very much so been happy that you had a good time with this so far.
It's definitely been a blast. And like you said, the community's great. I've had level like 36s join my game, and guys that have no business being in my game normally just show up, help me out, and help me clear, especially like the early missions when I had zero idea what I was doing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they came in, they just were like, "Here, come, follow me." Took care of basically everything while I was trying to learn the ropes, and
You're over here chewing
I
on
got my
crayons,
gear.
and he's just guiding you.
Just about, but hey, you know what? It worked, and it got me into the game a little more, and it helped me understand things more. And hey, I'll take it. Like, you got me. You hooked me.
Yeah,
So,
very seldom do you like come into a game relatively new, right, and actually have like a good experience right off the bat, especially like like a PVE or or like a squad based game, right?
oh right, right,
So many like times when I played like I've taken like a long break and started playing Valorant again, or I'll start take a long break and play Counter Strike or Rainbow Six Siege, or even games that I'd play a lot like Apex, right? Like a lot of times, like I end up just kind of muting everybody and just kind of playing on my own because you miss one shot, you're not perfect the entire game, and you start getting flamed by the rest of your teammates.
correct.
Here, it's like I'm so like occasionally someone will have their microphone on, just kind of spamming or whatever. It's like, but genuinely, when it comes down to it, like they actually have to talk to you. They're nice. Like again, everyone's so nice in this game and really helps out, especially with the onboarding or like the new player experience. You know, so on first startup, right? When you start up the game, what was your first experience? Because you said there was the first early bit of it, right? Like the starting missions, essentially, right? You get essentially it's one starting mission, and then like 10 altogether, I guess, right? But like the first one you have to play solo essentially, I think. That's how it worked
Right.
out.
You do. So the first mission wasn't too bad. The beginner mission wasn't too bad because the game kind of tells you where to go and tells you what to do. I did have some trouble finding the what is it, the pyronite or whatever,
Yeah,
the green one.
the green specific mineral that you have to pick up for that mission. Yeah.
Right. I was like, I don't know where this is. I don't know where I'm going. All I know is that I want to shoot the flamethrower at the bugs some more, right?
Yeah, and
But eventually you find it, and eventually the game kind of progresses. And I would also find myself digging random places and not really going anywhere of substance because, the game does also a very good job of letting you know where you're supposed to dig if you want to progress and go different places. It's the soft rock, right? It's like the brown
yeah,
soft
I
rock,
think I think it's highlighted as
compacted rock.
compacted
Yeah.
dirt or something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
So that's like, okay, here's like a light nudge of where you're supposed to go. That being said, you can also dig around and make your own tunnel systems essentially, right? It's just saying like this is going to be a major tunnel system this way if you dig through here, basically.
And that's kind of what I was doing, not really getting anywhere. But then you figure out, okay, so this is where we're really supposed to dig. And you learn how to play your class a little better the more you use it. And eventually then you're able to contribute a little more. So that, like I said, that first mission wasn't too bad. The missions after where they are just kind of like, all right, here you go.
Yeah,
Those were the
yeah,
ones where I was like, oh crap. So I ended up playing a couple of those missions solo just so I didn't like inconvenience anybody.
right. Yeah, it's like
Because
the fear of being like a burden on the team is like always
yeah,
like a thing I'm scared of in like a
uh-huh.
PV like a squad type game.
Because I ended up doing like some weird digging thing where I was just digging straight down for like 5 minutes
Yeah,
and I had
yeah.
somebody join on me and then I was like, oh crud.
Oh
Oh.
no! Now he knows how I've destroyed and ruined this cave mission. I have no way of getting back home.
And then it was like I was out of fuel for the digger
Oh,
tool.
so you're just digging by hand for the next 20 minutes to get back. Oh no!
Eventually I just waited for him to leave and then I left the mission and I restarted and I queued solo and then I just kind of figured it out
Yeah,
from there.
close party just so that way no one comes in to see my shame.
No one sees me drop my fucking lunch on the ground and
No,
crying.
exactly. Like I dropped my sandwich and I try to pick it up and then like my pens fall out of my pocket and I just look like a mess.
And the chocolate milk exploded and
Everything's going terrible and I'm stuck in this cave and I'm crying. Yeah, I mean, like there is a bit of that fear, right? Again, as I mentioned, like in playing these squad games, but again, like everyone here seems to be, well, again, a majority of the player base is very, very nice. Occasionally, you'll get, the random shitter, right? Just guy. That's weird, right? Because there's no pro scene for this game. You know what I mean? It's like it's not like a really competitive game in that aspect where it's just like,
right.
no, we're here to help. Like that's the whole point, right? So you'll get the occasional shitter, but very, very seldom. Like I played like 20 games in the last like I don't know week or so, like 20 individual missions, which is not
Right.
a pretty decent amount considering how rough my week has been. But like again, I've only had like maybe one dude who was actually like a dick, and like, he kind of just like left in the middle of the game without saying anything. It's like okay, well there goes that. Like he just leaves
Yeah.
and we'd start that mission over. Like we failed that mission super hard. But yeah, like like just kind of it just shows you basically like here's the starter mission. Here's like collecting stuff, right? You collect the minerals, you collect these like mushroom caps. Cool. Get back to the base and you're done, right? That's your first starter mission. And then after that, it shows you like how to do the egg hunts, right? You have to get the find the egg or harvest the alien eggs or whatever, right?
Right.
And then the next mission is like here's how you destroy a meteorite and like in a cave system, and here's how you build these power lines and build these refining tubes and all this other stuff, right? There's missions basically just showing you here's the mission type, here's how to do it. That's basically what it is, right? And even those missions, that's still like this introductory 10 missions or so, or like 9 whatever they are. You can play those with people, which is great because that means even because like essentially because the missions are on a rotation, there's always somebody playing this type of mission, which is like cool. You can always find people even if you need to just do a specific one to get like a particular piece of gear or whatever, right? So you experienced playing it solo. When you're playing it solo, like did your missions run longer? Like I'm assuming so because obviously you have to do everything by yourself, right? But did you like explore more stuff by yourself, or did you kind of just find yourself digging random places just to see how the game actually plays, or like try to break the game?
Yeah, I mean, it gave you a sense that like, okay, I don't have to rush. I don't have to be the one to like know exactly. Okay, hey, so we finished this portion of. Oh, we just had a swarm or something. Let's say, right? So now they're going to expect me to know immediately, oh, hey, start digging over there. And so when you're playing by yourself, you have that ability to sort of look around and understand, okay, so this is where we go next. So that if you ever run the mission again or you run missions like it, you'll know, hey, there's there's a place to start digging and here's the next objective, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of the perk and the positive of playing alone. I didn't find that things took that much longer playing alone versus playing with people, but I did find that it was a lot easier to play with people, and it was easier to do the harder difficulty, right? So
Oh yeah,
every time
absolutely.
you jump into a game, you can set. I only had access to 3 levels. I don't know if that's the max.
It goes up to 5 or 6, I believe. Like it's basically like it looks like a little exclamation point, right? If I remember correctly.
Right,
Yeah, I think it goes up to like 4 or 5 I think it's like 5 or 6. I think actually. Yeah, I think it's five or
right.
six.
So you set the difficulty and the rewards change based on how difficult your experience is. So for me, I was playing on 1 or 2, especially early on.
Mm-hmm.
uh as with a group we were able to clear like the level 3 and get the higher rewards.
Yeah, we get
So
way more materials for it to upgrade your character with.
mhm.
Um.
So that was nice, right? To be
Yeah.
able
Yeah.
to
Absolutely.
not really exert yourself too much to get the higher rewards was definitely better than running solo. But sometimes, it's kind of nice to play solo when you had a long day and you just want to have some fun. You don't want to have to deal with other people. So, some of the things that made Destiny so fun, right?
Yeah.
Was just
Exactly.
being able to jump into a game and do a mission even solo, or like a strike mission where nobody talks to each other, nobody interacts with each other.
Yeah. Everyone knows what they're doing, so you kind of just go about the motions and just do it, right?
Mhm. That was sort of the fun, and I kind of felt that with this too. Like I felt that with this game where you can just kind of chill out, you run a mission, and sort of the negative feelings from the day just kind of slide off.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think with this game specifically, it kind of reduces even more stress compared to like playing like Destiny by yourself. It's like we played a lot of Destiny, like
Yeah, we did.
especially this year, like because Witch Queen came out, we just basically no life that new expansion for a while. But the issue is once you start falling off of that, like the Destiny grind, right? You start getting FOMO, like oh no, I'm starting to fall behind. Like the rest of our raid crew is getting the higher level gear, and now I'm the hindrance to the rest of the group and all this other stuff, right? Like it starts becoming like almost like a part-time job you're not getting paid for, right? Except for
Right, exactly.
except for seeing the numbers go up, and if you fall behind you feel like a burden on the rest of your team. Like with this game, at least, because there is a little bit of like that leveling system in this game. There is you can make your character beefier with armor upgrades, and the weapons hit a little bit harder with weapon perks and upgrades like that as well too. But like again, like for the most part, you don't have to worry about that stuff because you can basically play this game completely like no perks, nothing added at all, and still be useful to the rest of your team. The scaling doesn't matter off that number issue that Destiny or like Borderlands or the Division have, right? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Those are all number has to go up. Number has to go up to stay relevant, to have fun with this game. Number has to go up. This is like again, like I popped into a lobby with a level 236 guy, and I was just as useful, as him. I mean, well, no, not exactly, but you know what I mean. Like I like.
I'm like, all right, where's it going with this?
I mean, like he's very efficient, right? But like me being in the lobby with him, it's not like in Destiny when I hadn't played for like a year and I came back and I'm hitting headshots with like one of my stronger DMRs, right? My single shot rifle. And I'm hitting for 17. Like, it's like but like when everyone else is hitting for like 3 digits for every shot they do with a pistol.
Right,
Like here it doesn't
right,
it, it doesn't have that power scaling issue, but it's more just like, everyone can kind of play together on the same essentially on a same level playing field.
right, exactly. The power there's no power creep, there's no power grind. So every 6 months you don't have a new number to get to in this. It's just your number just goes up and over time, and it doesn't contribute to anything other than letting players know, hey, you've spent X amount of time playing this game, or Y amount of time. Like your number either isn't as high because you haven't played the game as much, or it's high because you have. It's not, and it doesn't. There's no dragon to chase, right?
Yeah.
There's no constant power grind. You're not going from 1360 to 1390 to 1450 to 1560 to 1710, right? In Destiny, every season, the power gets a little higher, and you gotta just keep grinding and keep getting that, and keep optimizing your weapons. And after a while, it just gets super stressful. Here, you don't have to worry about that because you only really get one type of weapon, right? If per class, you get one, you get your sidearm or whatever, secondary weapon. You get your main gimmick gun, right? So you get the digger
Yeah,
gun, you
your
get the
tool,
portal
your
gun.
tool or whatever. Yeah, like yeah,
Hmm.
the platform gun,
Yeah, that's what I meant. The
the platform
platform gun.
gun, the zip line gun, right? Everyone has like a mobility option to help out the team with, right?
Right.
Or in the scouts case, specifically is a flare gun that is six to like ceilings and stuff, right? You never feel like you're a hindrance to the team. Like even as a newbie, right? You're
Right.
able to help out. We go from playing solo. Did you play any groups games with randos? Like aside from that
Yeah.
one guy coming to your game, like how many games did you play with random people, and how was your experience so far?
Once I got comfortable, I did everything with a group
Mm,
because the rewards were so good that you wanted to do things with a group, right?
yeah,
So that's kind of why I said, well, I feel comfortable in my class. I just kind of either started a group myself or I joined on somebody that didn't have a digger, right? And just partied with them, and we cleared stuff out pretty fast. And I didn't find too much of a negative situation or any sort of negativity towards me. I guess number one, because the group, the community is great, but number two, kind of figured out what I was doing with the class and what my perk was. And I mean, you would have people be like, "Hey, they would ping over here on some compacted dirt. Hey, start digging." And so I would dig, and everybody would follow me, and then
you're rocking
things would be
stone once you
perfectly
break
fine.
to the other side. Just like
Yeah, exactly.
again, everyone's so nice in this game. Like we just need more of that positivity, honestly, in the gaming sphere. Like it's so negative as of late. I feel like.
Yeah, yeah, no. So when we were doing the toxic shooter game, it definitely brought me back to the mid 2000s and early 2010s. But
Yeah, it's
this is like the
nice.
exact opposite of that.
It's
Yeah, it
nice,
was
right?
really great.
Yeah, because I mean, like even again, even like again, like Destiny has a cooperative aspect to it, right? Like
Right,
I feel like we're gonna be making a lot of references here to Destiny and like Left 4 Dead, right? That's the kind of the two things that I kind of
right,
look at this game in terms of like what it feels like to me. So like Destiny, like we can be doing strikes, right? The 3-man strikes or whatever, and sometimes like the one guy will just be AFK, basically just waiting for the other two to finish the mission, just so they can get the rewards and dip out, right? It's like it sucks, like it is weird having like a teammate who like who even if they don't know what they're doing, it's like fine if you're new, you're fine, whatever, right? Like you're kind of getting back to the swing of things. But it's like it's more annoying. But it's like it's bad when a guy is in your you're playing like the Nightfall, right? And you're like just barely Nightfall level. It's still a little rough, and
right,
then they're just a piece of shit the entire time, and it just makes that entire experience just garbage. Like here, things in this game, it can like, I played like a level 5, I believe, and again, I said before, like we died a couple times in it, but me and the group were pretty chill, so we did it a couple times, except for the one guy who like died and like said fuck this and basically dipped out, right?
right, right, right,
But like we were struggling in this level 5 mission. Yeah, again, it helps out because if you have the upgrades, you're higher level. You do a little bit more damage. You can take a little bit more damage. Your shields regen a little bit faster. Stuff like that. So there is a little bit of that power. Like there is a little bit of that power creep, but like it's more for like specifically like doing harder difficulties. That's really it. Um,
correct.
so we were slogging through this level 5 difficulty mission, just like I was having a real bad time because I'm still trying to get back into the swing of this game. The other guys like level 200s up, and I'm just like now I feel a little bit bad that I'm holding the team down, right? No, still rocking stone. Just like every time like I get picked up, like every time I throw a platform out. I was playing a lot of the engineer, I believe is the guy. Is it engineer? Yeah, the engineer
The
because
platform one.
yeah, the platform gun. Yeah, the platform gun. I was a digger player as well as you. Same with the drill, just like how the drill
Right,
just
right,
make it
right.
nice and easy to make mirror escape, right? But I was like, let me try the other stuff out because like mobility is fun in this game. Trying to explore the heights of the caves are nice and really cool and interesting. So I started playing a little bit of the engineer, the gunner with the minigun, right, and then the scout. I like learned how to like rotation of like when to use the flare gun versus using my regular flares and stuff like that, right? But yeah, like again, the people are so nice playing with even with random people. Like it was great,
Mm-hmm.
even with microphones, no microphones, just really fun.
Yeah,
And
it's like every other game. You learn how to play your class, and number one, things get more enjoyable. You feel more confident, and your gaming experience is even better when you actually, apply yourself and try and get good and stumble, like you said. I mean, you had a lot of stumbles, but then you figured it out, and you now really enjoy the game, right? Because you stuck with it.
oh yeah, absolutely. And again, like and again, it helps that the community is so damn nice in this game.
True,
Like they've done
very true.
like the creators of this game have done a very good job of cultivating the community exactly the type of community they want for this type of game.
And all it did was you put rock and stone to a keybind.
Yeah, exactly. And so we go from playing solo to playing with complete randos, and then we played with full squad. Right, I brought in
Yeah, we did.
two of my friends from Canadian land, the land of moose and maple syrup. So we brought in my friend Mavi and her friend Jared. We played as a full squad. I think we played a level 3 mission, I believe it was. So nothing crazy, just the average regular difficulty mission, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously that experience changes a little bit more because now we're in Discord, right? We're no longer using like a push to talk chat within the game where some
Correct.
people don't want to talk at all ever, but here we're freely conversing the entire time we're playing, right? We're shooting the shit. I'm catching up with them a little bit because I haven't talked to them in a while either. From since our last gaming sessions and stuff like that.
Right.
And that experience I think changes even more so where like again if you have like a crew right like that just kind of wants to shoot stuff and like kind of work together, this is like the Left 4 Dead experience for me. Like this is for me like referencing now like Left 4 Dead, right? Because you have like there technically is an objective right in Left 4 Dead, is get to each safe house, finish the mission, do the collect all the gas cans, put it in the car, break out of the mall, right? There's always like something like that at the end of those levels, right?
Right.
This is kind of the same kind of vibe for me now. It's like again, four of us cooperating in a first person shooter game like this and have objectives and stuff to do, and everyone can still be useful by shooting their guns, but it's also like we also have to like explore caves and dig our way out and explore and stuff like that.
Oh, and by the way, there is a Left 4 Dead esque sequence at the end where you have to make your way back to the drop pod. So you have to be in communication with your team.
Yes.
You have to be able to say, "Oh, well, here I built a way back," or "Oh, you're going the wrong way," and all that. So I do think having four people in constant voice chat is the optimal way to play the game, especially like how we were. We were all, friendly with one another, and
Hmm.
you guys all knew each other, and I knew you. So at the very least, like there was that air of familiarity with one another in there. So I think that's like the optimal way to play the game. That doesn't mean that it's still not basically just as good to play with strangers pointing at things with your ping gun and saying rock and stone, right?
Yeah, and in the
But
occasional Mike, Mike, I need to talk about, hey, cover me, I need to go to the bathroom, or like
right.
my kids bother me for a second, so give me a second.
I think like you said, that is the optimal way to play it because you're always in communication and you don't have to like ping everything and all that. But at the same time, it doesn't it's not completely unplayable like other games if you don't have voice chat.
Yeah, there's some games that feel like genuinely just like a more miserable experience, right? Playing with like randos who don't want to talk, and when they do talk, they're just the worst garbage spewing out of their
Yes.
microphone, right? It's like
Hmm.
either it's a super crunchy Xbox microphone, or it just, or again like like so they're just blasting music with their microphones open, so you just hear every song on their playlist for the next hour that you're stuck with them, right?
And it's always bad. It's
Yeah,
always
it's
something
always
that
something that
sucks.
you do not want to hear at that moment, especially in that type of game. It's rough, but like at least here, like again, everyone's at least so nice here and very considerate in this game for the most part. Um, yeah, and playing with our friends, right? It was cool. Even then we got like lost halfway through the mission, right? Because we just started exploring because we're like we have this sense of like of like, oh, we have a crew, right? Oh, we're fine. We can just do whatever we want, right? No
Right,
fear.
exactly.
And then like we realize we've been digging in the wrong place for like, for like 10 minutes. Like, this is
Oops.
well, here we go. Well, we wasted 10 minutes, but it's fine. We can just keep going forward, right? And that mission we ended up having a boss battle, right? That was the boss battle mission that we did essentially, right?
Yes.
Which was
So that was a lot of fun.
very fun. Very much so feels like again like kind of like a Destiny strike mission, right? At the end there's a big old fight. You have to worry about like phases and stuff like that. But yeah, like what do you think of like the variety of like missions in this game? Like it doesn't get boring to me because again there's so much to do.
Right. No, I think it definitely keeps you on your toes. Like I didn't expect to have like a multi-stage boss fight at the end of this game. For other games, I feel like again like Destiny and even like Left 4 Dead, you imagine there to be some sort of final encounter,
Objective
right?
based like horde kind of deal, right?
Some final pinnacle encounter that takes place at the end of the mission, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this, it's always random because like either we finish gathering all the resources, then you call the drop pod and it's time to make the mad dash, or you just like you're down the stairs from the drop pod in certain other types of missions, right? So your final encounter is just guarding like the hacking device or guarding the thing that's
The refinery thingy or whatever,
yeah,
right? Yeah,
you're the thing that's extracting all of the oil, right?
yeah.
So you never know what to expect, and I think that's what's pretty cool, especially like the early days of you playing the game. I'm sure once you hit level 100, you've seen everything, you know what's coming. So it's not as fun. So, but then again, you get to pick and choose the missions that you do. So maybe you do stick with the missions that you particularly enjoy. But I think for me, coming into this completely blind, basically, it's fun to not know what's happening and to just be ready to be like, oh, all right, boss fight, let's go. Or, oh, all right, horde time, let's go. Right.
Yeah, and
So,
like the game also has like this is very typical of like a swarm, right? Like if you're just sitting too long in one area, the game's like, hey, heads up, here's another horde. Like it's kind of like it's almost kind of like a nudge, like hey, you're sitting in the same area a little bit too long. We're gonna throw a wave at you, kill them.
so sit here for 5 more minutes.
And then like it's almost like a penalty, right? Like, well, you wasted 5 minutes, and we're gonna waste 5 minutes for you. Go do the damn mission, right?
Right.
And then but yeah, like there's that, and then even after the mission's done, you still have to worry about the mad dash back to the drop pod. Like so, like, even after the depending on the difficulty, how intense the fight, the boss fight or boss event might, the objective might be, you still have to worry about leaving, and hopefully you didn't destroy the cave system on the way in, and like you make it so difficult for yourself to get around, right?
Right.
Because
Like I did.
yeah.
Like I did.
I had a game as well too where the driller he must have been on something. He was just like the guy was full on memeing where like every game so I played with the guy for like 4 games in a row, right? Because they were a cool party. They were just like we're just messing around, just grinding materials. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll play with you guys for a bit. You stayed in the lobby after doing a mission with a group, and the guy's whole bit, I don't know what it was, but he was playing the driller. And as soon as he got out of the dropship, aimed straight down and just started drilling, and until his gas tank was empty. Why is he doing this? Just like confused. Like, just like I'm over here as the engineer. As the engineer's like, do I follow him? Like, can he get out? Just like yeah, he'll figure it out his way out afterwards. And I was like, okay, see you later, dude. Just like I just go with the rest of the team. We do
I'm sorry. It must be a thing with the driller or the digger, because I did the same thing. Like when I first started playing,
you destroy everything around me. Just go
point
somewhere.
down and drill. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I did the same thing.
It was funny because it's always just like at the end of the mission, we'd finish the mission as a 3-man, right, or whatever. I mean, not always, right? Sometimes he would actually just play with us, but like a majority of the games we played with him, like he just dug straight down, and it's like, is he gonna make it back up here in time? Because he dug straight down for a while. Right. You can't climb vertical walls, so apparently the guy has done it so many times where he's like dig straight down, and he just basically like mines a staircase with the pickaxe, like a spiral staircase in the dirt with a pickaxe.
Oh God!
And I was like,
miserable,
bro. Why did you do this to yourself? He's like, yeah, it's like I just want to see how long it takes the rest of the guys to do this mission without me. And I was like, You're a jerk. Why would you play with these guys? But they're friends, and they were kind of goofing, and it was a bit. And especially, I think they liked seeing people like me who are new to the group just trying to piece together why he's doing this. you know. But yeah, it was a good time. I really, really enjoyed my time with this. I'm glad you enjoyed your time with this game.
I did, for sure.
So what happened with this game is I ended up actually gifting it to you because I just said, "This is the game I want us to play. Like, I want you to start playing this game." And because I kind of assumed it might be a little bit pretty up your alley, right? Because we played Destiny, we played Left 4 Dead, we like these cooperative shooter experiences, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And without the stress of it being like as grindy as a Destiny, or as like not stale as like Left 4 Dead, because Left 4 Dead is more just like Left 4 Dead is a little bit older. It's an older game. That's basically what it is, right?
Yes,
It's a very
exactly.
but it still has some procedurally generated stuff, and even more so with this game. This entire cave system is the entire every cave system you go into is technically procedurally generated. So it's like you can do the same mission 3-4 times, and technically every mission's a little bit different because you have to worry about navigating yourself down and then how to navigate yourself back up safely. Without making it too difficult to actually make your way back to the escape pod. But yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
so
Like I said,
go ahead, John.
what?
Go ahead.
Professionals here, I
Yep.
swear. No, like you said, you were right. It was kind of the perfect game for us, right? Because all we did was play those, Destiny and Left 4 Dead type co-op shooters, and this is something that's really great without, like you said, having the stress of having to grind or, have to worry about, oh, well, this game's from 10, 15 years ago now. Are there modern quality of life features that we're used to that aren't present in Left 4 Dead, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. There's no grind, and it's a modern game. When did this come out? Did this come out last year or this year?
2020, like literally, like
Oh, okay, 2 years ago.
yeah. So like, if I remember correctly, it was in like early access 2020, like literally right in the like a couple months into the pandemic, I think, and then it officially released like last year, I think it was. I want to say.
Got it.
So it was out for a little bit, and then eventually kind of like went out, and it kind of took off initially in the early days of the pandemic, because again, everyone's stuck at home. Everyone's trying to find ways to play with with friends and stuff. Just hang
Yep.
out, and this game kind of happened to be a really good way to do so. Surprising. I'm surprised it didn't like blow up even more, but that's fair. Like the community is like it's not a small community, it's not a massive community, but the community that is here still in this game is again the core community I think you want in this type of game, right? I mean,
Right, it's tight knit, and that's all you can ask for.
hi, editing Lakan here. So from what it looks like, this game was completely wrong on my end. The game has been growing and growing in player base basically ever since release day. There's a large influx of players on release day, just usual. And then every couple months, there's like a big old influx of people coming into the game. From what it looks like, the developers dropped the price on it, put it on sale on Steam, and a bunch of people pick it up and join the community, which is awesome because this game's really, really fun. And I'm hoping more and more people come in to really enjoy what this game has to offer in terms of gameplay and in community as well. It's a really, really great game. And I don't think I ever mentioned in the recording, but this game is also on consoles. It went free on games with PlayStation Plus a while ago, and pretty damn sure it's on Xbox as well too. And they have cross generational play, like PlayStation 4 can play with PS5, and Xbox can play it with people who bought it through the Microsoft Store, I believe. There's no true crossplay yet, unfortunately, yet with this game, and I don't think they're going to get around to it. They mentioned there's a lot of issues trying to do it, so that's unfortunate. But yeah, go ahead and pick this game up. I should have mentioned that before. Back to the episode. Yeah.
Also, I mean, we had a million things to do in 2020 that weren't like go outside.
Yeah.
So, all the other games had people, that especially games that you've had in your backlog forever,
Mm-hmm.
right? So people were probably trying to plow through that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And so that's kind of why I guess maybe it didn't blow up. Also because remember, you had games like Among Us blowing up. You
Call
had
of Duty
other
blew up that year as well too, so
Yep.
that was eating up a lot of people's time, including mine as well. I'm not going to deny that.
Right, for sure. So that's kind of why, but like you said, this is the community that you want. It's a nice manageable size. It's made up of good people that really love the game and love helping players, right?
Yeah.
And That's all you can really ask for. It's a blast. It's something that we're gonna definitely go back to over the coming months. It's definitely something that's gonna wind up in the rotation, and we're better for having played this game.
I'm glad that
We're better
I'm
people.
exactly rock and stone, fam.
Rock and stone.
And one last thing I want to touch upon, I guess, before we wrap up here. Playing this game, again, I'm not technically a veteran of this game. I definitely put a bit of time into this game, but not, I'm not like fully experienced. I can't do the high level stuff because I don't have all the gear for it still.
Correct.
But like it felt a little bit like, do you remember during the horse game show event in Destiny
Yes.
where like the low level players who hadn't played in a while and don't have particular weapons to break through specific armor sets?
Yes.
Like the unstoppable,
Like if you didn't have
or like
overload
the
and all that.
and like you remember they had like the rescue mission, like there was like
Yes.
like was it Operation Rescue Light, I think they called it, or something like that, for like
Yes.
you have to go back and help the new players, right? It felt a little bit like that, like when I would see like a level 230 playing with me in my lobby and just like, come here little one, follow me and I will take you I'll take you in as one of my own. Just like,
They're like Baby Yoda looking at him like, I'm helping.
I swear I'm again just chewing on my bib, just drooling on myself. I swear I'm helping, Thunder. And yeah, it was a good time. I'm glad you enjoyed this game, and I had a good time getting back into this game. And yeah. And again, if you, I'm sure this is gonna find a way into a rotation. Just like, hey, I have like a couple hours to kill. You want to just chill and just shoot shit for a while and not have to worry about stressing over like anything. Like I'm down to play. Just let me know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I guess that's gonna be it for this episode. Check this game out, Deep Rock Galactic, if this is up your alley. Again, 1 to 4 player cooperative shooter where people are actually nice in this game, and you don't have to worry about getting called gamer words, or or how somebody slept with their mom. Great time, genuinely good time with this game. Thanks for tuning in. Give us a share, leave us a review on whatever streaming platform you happen to be listening to us on. We really appreciate it, and hope to see you guys in the next episode. Take care.
Rock and stone.
Rock and stone. I changed all the cursors on my my computer to these little Hololive chibi cursors, and it's very cute. Like, holy shit, it's so cute.
It's like the 2000s all over again.